In Florida now, Tampa avoided the eye of Hurricane Idalia, but the powerful storm left behind a lot of flooding and a record high storm surge in the coastal city. Tampa Mayor Jane Castor joins us now to discuss the impact of the storm. Jane, it's good to see you. We were just talking about how you've got the king tides, which Tampa Bay often does see flooding during that. You have the blue moon. You now have this storm system. What are you seeing in Tampa right now? It looked like a lot of water there earlier today.
There is a lot of water, and unfortunately, there's no time for that to recede before we get the king tide in a few hours. So we are looking at additional flooding here in our area. We have about 126 miles of waterfront in our city, and so that's a lot of area to take this water on. We're just trying to continue to communicate with all of our residents that it's not over yet, the emergency, that they have to stay put. 2 out of our 3 bridges going over to Pinellas are currently closed because of flooding.
So, you're warning residents that it's not over yet. What is your concern? That people look outside and it won't look that bad and get themselves into a sticky situation?
Exactly. And the water, when it starts to come in, it's going to come in with great force. And so we've already had to rescue a number of people that have driven into water they can't see through. So that's very concerning for us. And a lot of the individuals that were asked, actually ordered to evacuate that didn't, are now stuck in their homes in certain locations. Now, there's not a fear that this water is going to get so high that they'll be in danger, but clearly we have the issues with electrical outages and downed limbs, possibility of electrocution. So we're just asking everyone right now, stay where you're at. The water is not supposed to recede until about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon.
Oh, wow.
So just to make it clear, emergency personnel, they're not going out now. If someone calls 911 and says they're concerned, they're just going to have to stick it out?
No, we're out. We're out
Okay.
and about. We've been out since the sun came up. Matter of fact, once the winds get down to 50 degrees or 50 miles an hour or lower, we've got our first responders out. But we don't have the capacity to do the water rescues. We have all of our water vessels out and deployed, but individuals that say, well, I'm on the 2nd floor and I should have gotten out yesterday, they're just going to have to wait until this water goes out.
Yeah, that makes sense. I spent almost 7 years in Southwest Florida and covered many, many hurricanes. When we start seeing that cone of uncertainty, it seems like the Tampa Clearwater area is always in it. Floridians know the drill very, very well. But specifically in Tampa, last year you had a hurricane veer off to the Fort Myers area. You had Ian. You've had other hurricanes. This one went to the north. Do people in Tampa get a little bit complacent? You're saying people didn't leave their homes. They're out driving around. We know that, turn around, don't drown. You see water, you're not supposed to go through it.
Right.
Is there a concern moving forward as we continue to go into hurricane season? Or is this kind of a reality check saying, hey, this is what you need to be concerned about, and this is why you have to have your hurricane kit, and maybe next time get out?
Right. I hear what you're saying. There is that complacency issue. Same thing with Hurricane Charlie. That was supposed to be devastating for our area, just as Ian was, and it made that last minute turn. So you can't predict Mother Nature, but we know she wins every single time. And so we have not been hit in over 100 years. You probably hear the knocking on wood behind me at the EOC. But we haven't taken that direct hit. And so, it gets a little more difficult every year to convince people to get out of the area. But I think seeing the devastation from Ian that was supposed to hit us last year, I think that resonated with our community, and they understand the gravity of these storms.
So I wonder, as you're planning for the future, flooding happens in Tampa, but you're looking at record flooding now. It's probably not going to be the last time it happens. Is this some of the stuff that you're grappling with as you're planning for the future growth of this city? How to handle whatever weather is coming your way?
Yes, without a doubt. We've had over the last 5 years, major stormwater projects in those low-lying areas to get that water out. But one of the issues is with the climate change and the rising water, we're having to put back valves on some of those stormwater outlets into the bay to make sure that the water doesn't come back in. Right now is a great example with this king tide. There's no place for this water to go right now. So it's staying as the tide rises and adds to that surge. So that's becoming a reality for us moving into the future. But we just have to ensure that our residents and visitors know to get out of the way of the water.
Right.
Well, Mayor, I know, I was down there for the Super Bowl and met you and know all the planning it took with that. And I hear about all the planning now, when it comes to this. Tampa's a beautiful area. We wish you nothing but the best moving forward.
Well, thank you. We'd rather have a Super Bowl any day, but we're
Yes.
prepared for anything that comes our way.
Well, at least you know how to plan. Thank you.
There you go.